In July of 1999, less than a year after it finished airing in Japan, news broke that Pioneer would be releasing Trigun on DVD in North America. But it wasn't Pioneer that made the announcement, with the news breaking in the September issue of Previews magazine. Pioneer's official announcement wouldn't come until a couple of weeks later at that year's Anime Expo, and they provided some additional details. The series would be released in 8 volumes, with the first one scheduled to hit store shelves in February. But that initial release window would eventually be pushed back, and a new release date of March 28, 2000 was reported by Anime on DVD in December. The series would be released on both VHS and DVD throughout 2000 and 2001. And in the middle of these home video releases, it was starting to look like Trigun might make its way to broadcast television as well. On March 26, 2001, Cartoon Network launched Toonami Reactor, an experimental anime streaming service. If a user clicked on the feedback button, they would be able to fill out a short survey. One of the questions asked what shows they'd like to see on the service, and one of the options that users could select was Trigun. On May 15th, Tokyopop Soundtracks division revealed that they would be releasing anime soundtracks. The first wave of announcements included soundtracks for 3 anime that were all scheduled to release on August 23rd: Bubblegum Crisis, Vampire Princess Miyu, and Trigun. And in the description of Trigun's soundtrack, they made an interesting statement, quote, "The hit anime scene on Cartoon Network and distributed by Pioneer Entertainment," end quote. Fans of the series and frequent viewers of the channel knew that the series had never aired on Cartoon Network before. This led to rumors being spread about the series making its way onto the network. Anime News Network reached out to Pioneer on May 29th for clarification on the issue. According to Chad Keim, the company's marketing manager, quote, "As far as I'm aware, this is simply an error by Tokyopop. Trigun has certainly never aired on the Cartoon Network," end quote. And that wasn't all that they were able to learn about the possibility of Trigun appearing on the network. Apparently, they were actively discussing it, but Cartoon Network had some reservations about the series' frequent use of guns. But according to Keim, it could still happen. Quote, "Never say never, just say not yet," end quote. If that wasn't definitive enough, Tokyopop released their own statement the same day. In a short press release, they stated, quote, "Tokyopop would like to apologize for the confusion caused by our press release regarding the Trigun official soundtrack. In the May 15th release, it was incorrectly stated that Trigun had aired on the Cartoon Network, when in fact the title had not. We apologize for any confusion this may have caused," end quote. Discussions about the series airing on Cartoon Network dried up for over a year, until, on December 3, 2002, AOL Time Warner, the network's parent company, made an announcement. In a press release, the company stated that, quote, "Cartoon Network today announced the acquisition of 3 anime series that will air during Adult Swim, its highly rated late-night block of animation for adults 18 to 34. The 3 series are Lupin III, Rain, and Trigun," end quote. However, they only provided programming information about Lupin III, which was initially scheduled to air from Monday to Thursday at midnight starting on January 13th, and additional information about Rain and Trigun was going to be released later. Despite the press release saying that it was going to air on Adult Swim, it's possible that the details were still being worked out. On January 27, 2003, the website Saiyans Rage claims to have spoken to a source that worked at Cartoon Network. The source had been saying that Trigun was coming to the network for a while, but they didn't want to specify a date or whether it was going to air on Adult Swim or Toonami. But that day, they found something interesting. If you found your way to the Adult Swim website's FAQ, you'd find their list of programs, and if you scrolled all the way to the bottom, you'd see Trigun. On February 20th, Cartoon Network held a press conference in New York where they made several announcements. And one of those announcements was a definitive release window for Trigun, which would begin airing sometime in March. On February 26th, the initial March programming schedules for the network were released, and Trigun was scheduled to premiere at midnight on March 31st.
In a distant, dusty future, Vash the Stampede is the man everybody wants to get their hands on. Good luck, fellas. You're gonna need a whole lot of bullets.
Wherever this man goes, he always leaves trouble behind him.
Get down! Over half the town ain't nothing but rubble.
It's Vash the Stampede. He's coming our way. He's coming.
Trigun, premiering Monday, March 31st at midnight on Adult Swim. Draw, partner.
Trigun's initial run on the network lasted from March 31st to May 13th, but reruns continued to air for the next few years. It had taken a while for it to get there, but Trigun had finally arrived.